So, another bank is making its own coin, and there's a promising new trend in Bitcoin mining that points to a higher price in the near future. We're, of course, joined once again by Monday Morning's Dave Zeiler to explain some of these crypto trends. Let's start with the banking coin. Why should we care that another big bank, Wells Fargo this time, is making its own coin?
Well, you've got Wells Fargo this time. JP Morgan's already announced they're working on a coin. What they're doing is they're creating stable coins, which are coins that are basically tied to something else, like the US dollar. The reason they're doing it is not to have another coin that's going to be traded on exchanges. They're doing it for their own internal use. They can use these cryptocurrencies internally to make their operations more efficient, and because it makes it easier for them to do things like send money from bank to bank or cross-border, a lot of things that these big banks do every single day, and it just makes their operations more efficient. It's not the sort of thing that is going to affect other cryptocurrencies. It really doesn't have any impact on a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, which is now more of an investment. It's something like digital gold, where people are going to use it as an investment. They speculate on it. The price goes up and down. A stable coin obviously is not going to do any of those things. Or a cryptocurrency like Ethereum, which is more like a platform where people build apps on it and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's not the sort of thing that's going to have any impact on the rest of the crypto world.
Okay, so something that might, though, is this trend that you've seen in the Bitcoin miners, and they are ramping up their operations again. What does that mean for Bitcoin and also for maybe people who are interested in getting into Bitcoin?
Well, what we've seen is this year that since June the 14th, there's been a 60% increase in the hash power, which is the amount of mining power that's directed towards creating new Bitcoins. It's gone up 60% since June the 14th, and is at an all-time high now. Mining power has a tendency to have a relationship with the price, because the miners are getting paid. This is how they make their money. They're the ones who get the block rewards. They get 12.5 Bitcoins every time they find a block. So what this tells us is that the miners are investing a lot more in their mining equipment, which is not cheap. They have something called ASICs, which are devices that are specifically built to mine Bitcoin. That's all they can do. And they cost a lot of money. They can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And the people who do this, these miners have very large operations. They buy a lot of this equipment. They can spend a huge amount of money on this stuff. When the price started to go up earlier this year, they started to order more equipment. And they started to bring it online. You saw the hash rate start to go up. But you would think that since the price has been relatively stable for the past couple months, that it might level off, but it's not doing that. It's actually accelerating because they're buying more and more equipment, bringing more stuff online. At the moment, it's so crazy that some of this equipment is back ordered for 3 months. They're not even going to get it until near the end of the year. What this tells me is that the miners are expecting the price not just to be stable, but to go up, because otherwise they're not going to get their money back, because they have to pay electric bills as well as pay for this mining equipment. So they need steady income. The other piece of this puzzle, which is very interesting, is that we're going to have the halving of the reward next May is expected. So the reward's going to drop from 12.5 Bitcoins to 6.25 Bitcoins, which would mean their income of the miners will drop almost in half. Now they also get some fees, but primarily most of their money's coming from the block rewards. So that tells me that if they're investing this much money now, that they expect the price to go up significantly over the next 6 months to a year.
Great. So that obviously means that people could start getting in now and ride along that price increase with them. So thanks very much, Dave, for joining us, and we'll keep an eye on, the Bitcoin mining trend for sure. The banks, we don't care as much about.
Right.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See you then.